look at the airline like every aviation participant, 98% of our carbon emissions is from consumption of jet fuel. So for us, identifying the challenge and how to decarbonize is actually pretty straightforward. It's the jet fuel, right?
Yeah.
Anything in and around the airport, electrification, fuel cells, energy storage, sustainable products on our planes, those are all going to be incremental around the edges, but even if you solve those 100%, that's 2%, right? So for us, sustainable aviation fuel is the solution. So we're in a race, right, to achieve what we can more quickly. For us, it's looking at a number of alternatives across the timeline, across the scope. Near term, it is very much the feedstock challenge, fats, oils, and greases. That there's a HEFA process that exists today. The refining network can produce renewable fuels. The technology exists, the infrastructure exists, the distribution channels exist. The only challenge is there's not enough feedstock. There's probably high single digits globally, and that's not even including the use for renewable diesel and land fuel. So if we can unlock more sources of fats, oils, and greases, feedstock, that's where we believe the near-term solution could be. As you look to the broader timeline, alcohol to jet, we find compelling. There are 17 billion gallons of ethanol production here in the US today. We are raising our hand, and as land transportation can pursue alternative fuel sources available to it that isn't available to aviation, we will take that demand, right?
It's just a matter of scaling it and getting it into the right hands. So that's an interesting perspective. Can you talk a bit about how policy has evolved? You know, so much has changed. When we dropped the Inflation Reduction Act in, we've got state policies coming online. There's now a stick for SAF over in Europe versus carrots where we have here. Can you guys give us just a little bit of a view of how you think about the evolution of policy going forward, really what's next in that world?
So the policy side is actually very critical tied into what we are doing on the investment side. We have a dedicated venture capital team, 10 members, right? That team also gives us guidance as far as what's within the realm of passing politically, either at the federal level, at the state, local level, and that helps us make smart investment decisions, right? Because all of this is tied to economics, right? We can talk about sustainability, we can talk about climate change and improvements, but if it's not profitable, you can't do it without losing money. That's not going to be sustainable. So it's all tied together, and those are the types of discussions we have regularly.
Yeah, absolutely. Can confirm they are really good at diligence. From personal experience.